As soon as you say end time, they say, whoa, the end of the world. When's it going to be? And you can see this mask of fear. I'm not telling you the end time is coming. I'm telling you, you live in it right now. Daniel chapter number 7, verse number 4. The first beast was like a lion. We have the eagle used continually to depict the United States of America. You see it on governmental documents. We are at the generation for which these that you will not miss one segment of understanding the end time, because I've had many people tell me it's changed their life forever. Many of the major prophecies of the Bible are given to us 2, 3, some of them as high as 4 or 5 times. There is not any chance it's not going to happen, because it's in your Bible, it's prophesied, and the prophecies always come back.
지금부터 2000년 전 전 세계로 흩어져서 디아스포라의 삶을 살아야 했던 유대인들, 그리고 그 후로 역사 속에서 또 지구상에서 완벽하게 사라졌던 그 이스라엘이 1948년 다시 기적처럼 건국될 때, 그때 이스라엘의 유대인들의 인구 숫자는 약 80만 명 정도였다고 합니다. 그런데 그 후로 전 세계에 흩어졌던 그 유대인들이 이스라엘로 돌아와서 지금은 이스라엘의 유대인들의 인구 숫자가 약 한 700만 명 이상 된다고 합니다. 그러니까 70년 만에 거의 한 10배로 늘어난 것이죠. 이렇게 이스라엘로 돌아오고 있는 그 유대인들의 모습, 마치 연화가 고향을 찾아서 돌아오듯이 돌아오는 것을 히브리어로 알리야라고 합니다. 그 알리야 일을 주도적으로 또 진두지휘하고 일을 감당하고 있는 단체가 바로 이스라엘의 주이시 에이전시라고 하는 단체입니다. 그 주이시 에이전시의 친선대사이신 드보라 가나니 엘라드 여사가 저희 브래드TV 스튜디오를 방문해 주셨습니다. 그래서 오늘 이 드보라 여사와 함께 지금 이스라엘에서 알리야와 관련해서 어떤 일들이 일어나고 있는지, 그리고 주이시 에이전시가 그 알리야를 위해서 구체적으로 어떤 일들을 하고 있는지 그런 이야기를 나눠보도록 하겠습니다. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
I'm happy to be here.
저희 브래드TV 건물 1층에 통곡의벽을 만들어놨는데 보시니까 좀 어떠세요?
It's very touching, and I heard that you take also the prayers from there and bring it to Jerusalem, and this is very touching. It's beautiful.
제가 조금 전에 전 세계에 흩어졌던 유대인들을 이스라엘로 데리고 오는 그 작업들을 주이시 에이전시에서 한다고 이렇게 설명을 해드렸는데, 주이시 에이전시 언제 생겼고 구체적으로 어떤 일을 하고 있는지 좀 자세하게 설명을 해 주시죠.
The Jewish Agency is a worldwide organization, belongs to all the Jews of the world. It's the umbrella of all Jewish organizations in the world. So it's the biggest Jewish organization. Under the umbrella, there are synagogues, schools, universities, Jewish Federation, all the Jews. And in every city in the world, in Australia, in the US, in Brittany, there are Jewish organizations that they went together and bring this very nice organization that is already 100 years old.
100 years old.
Almost, not yet, but almost.
그러면 이스라엘이 1948년에 건국이 됐으니까 이스라엘 건국보다도 그 이전부터 그러면 이 주이시 에이전시가 활동을 시작한 거네요.
When the Jews began to feel in their hearts and talk between themselves that they want to follow God's order, that they want to go back to their home, to the Holy Land, they couldn't do it. Because first the Turkish people were ruling in Israel at that time, and the English, and Israel was closed, couldn't go there. So they organized themselves in one organization that this organization was able to begin to bring them to Israel. So there was one operation beginning to bring the Jews back home. On the other hand, trying to build them absorption, a way that they can live. So the Jewish Agency, before the state, was building homes for the Jews, building factories, building airline, everything. 1948, when the state was established, the head of the Jewish Agency, the head of the Jewish people at that time, David Ben-Gurion, was moved from his chair as the head of the Jewish Agency to be the first prime minister of the state of Israel. So you understand that the Jewish Agency was the first government of the Jewish people. And then, 1948, the Jewish Agency and the State of Israel signed an agreement between them that the State of Israel will rule as a democratic country, and the Jewish Agency, its main rule will be Aliyah, to bring the Jews from all over. There are around 7 million Jews all over, and we will have to bring them back home and make them citizens of Israel.
브래드 TV에서 주관하는 이스라엘 회복 순례를 통해서 이제 이스라엘 갈 때 예전에 저희가 방문했던 곳이 이제 주이시 에이전시 건물을 방문했었는데 그곳에 가서 우리가 같이 이제 설명을 듣고 거기서 찬양하고 기도했던 장소가 있었어요. 그 장소가 그 주이시 에이전시로서는 굉장히 중요한 장소라고 그때 이야기를 들었던 것 같아요.
The room that your group, which was 80 people, if I remember well, you were praying in the hall that the first president of Israel, Weizmann, was inaugurated as the president of Israel. So this is a very special room. The vote for him to be a president was done in this room, and the picture is in this room. And when groups come from Korea and other countries, we let them enter to Weizmann Hall and to the room where the government at that time was sitting. It's called Ben-Gurion Room. And we let the Christian pray there and bless Israel, we bless Korea, and we are doing a friendship meeting.
지금 전 세계에 대략 몇 나라의 유대인들이 이렇게 흩어져 살고 있고 또 그 숫자가 어느 정도 됩니까?
Okay, so this is the map where are all the Jews in the world. So you can see in Europe there are 1,800,000 Jews. In America there are 600,000 Jews. So in Asia, not so many, 52,000. So there are Jews all over. We will give you this map and you can then tell your friends. But mainly, we are bringing now Jews from America, every year around 3,000, from France, every year 2,500, from Ukraine and Russia, around 7,000 every year. Total is around 30,000 new immigrants every year.
Wow.
So this is very difficult mission.
미국이나 이런 나라들은 유대인들이 넘어간 지 길어봐야 한 200~300년 됐을 것 같은데 문제는 이제 유럽이나 러시아나 또 아프리카나 이런 데서 살고 있는 유대인들은 굉장히 오랜 세월 동안 한 1000년 이상씩 살아왔을 것 같은데 그 사람들을 어떻게 유대인이라고 이렇게 확신할 수가 있는 거죠?
The Jewish agency, first of all, there is a law of return that the state of Israel established. And this law said exactly who is a Jew and who is not a Jew. And the Jewish agency is working according to this law. So it says if you have a mother who is Jewish, you are a Jew. If your grandmother is a Jew, then you are a Jew. And many, many, many criterias. So our offices all over the world meet the Jewish people, and they open a file and give all their information, and then the government decide if it can make aliyah or not.
그렇지만 그 엄마가 유대인이고 그 엄마의 엄마가 유대인이고 이게 확인이 안 되는 경우도 있지 않습니까?
Then there are all kinds of ways. For example, the Jews from Ethiopia, they didn't have any papers. So a delegation of rabbis from Israel went to Ethiopia and see the kind of life. And they saw they're praying from the Bible. They saw that they celebrate Jewish holidays. They saw they sing Hebrew songs. So they investigate them slowly, and then there was a decision brought to the government, and the government made a decision to bring them to Israel. The same is the Jews from India. Some say they are not Jewish, some say they are Jewish. So the government made the decision to bring them, but they have to go through a certain test to become a Jew. So there are all kinds of cases in every place, depends where you're coming from. There is a big problem of the Anusim, the Jews that ran away from Spain, that they say they're Jewish, and it's a big issue.
그런데 제가 알기로는 인도에도 유대인들이 많이 있다라고 이제 들었는데, 근데 그 인도에 있는 유대인들 중에 또 상당수가 종교가 유대교가 아니라 기독교인이라는 것 때문에 그들이 이스라엘로 알리야를 하고 싶어도 이스라엘이 갖고 있는 그 귀환법이라는 것 때문에, 귀환법에는 유대교 종교를 가진 유대인들만 이스라엘로 돌아올 수 있다. 이게 아마 귀환법으로 제가 알고 있는데, 그 법 때문에 인도에 있는 크리스천 유대인들이 이스라엘로 돌아오지 못하고 있다. 이런 얘기도 하더라고요. 그 귀환법을 앞으로 조금 더 이렇게 이스라엘 정부에서 좀 이렇게 완화시켜서 기독교인들도 이스라엘로 이렇게 받아들일 수 있는 그럴 가능성은 없습니까?
Regarding the Jews from India, government is making decision according to the case. Now there is a decision to bring 400. So every time that we have the papers and the situation is, we let them come. But they don't come as Jews. They come as tourists. And when they are in Israel, they are going for 1 year through a conversion and study the Torah and study the Bible, and then become a Jew by law, and then they become citizens. So it's complicated procedure. Some of the Jews from Ethiopia is the same. In Russia, there are 300,000 people from Russia that the government, the religious rabbi, don't recognize them as Jews. So they have to go through change also.
자, 그럼 이제 지역에 유대인들이 살고 있는 것이 확인이 됐다. 그러면 그 다음에 이제 주이시 에이전시가 그쪽 유대인들을 접촉을 해서 이스라엘로 돌아오게 하는 일들을 이제 본격적으로 하실 텐데, 유대인들이 확인이 된다. 그러면 그 다음에는 어떤 작업들이 진행이 되는 겁니까?
First of all, I have to say that there is a center, call center, that you can call in every language. And if you want to know if you are Jewish or not, you call to 800 number, and they open for you a file. Let's say that you are from a very far away city in the US. You call this number, and they open a file, and they ask you a question, and then they take you with the procedures. But the procedure itself is done in every office all over the world. I cannot say the details. There are papers that you need to fill out to show who is your mother, where you were born, and all those things. And then this paper goes to the government of Israel, to the Ministry of Interior. And they are the ones who has to the last signature if you can come as a new immigrant.
주이시 에이전시에 그런 통계가 혹시 있을지 잘 모르겠지만 어떻습니까? 과거에 비해서 최근 들어서 유대인들이 이스라엘로 돌아오는 그 숫자가 점점 늘어나는 편입니까? 아니면은 예전이나 지금이나 뭐 돌아오는 숫자가 거의 비슷하다. 아니면 점점 갈수록 이스라엘로 돌아오는 유대인들의 숫자가 줄어든다. 어느 쪽입니까?
If there are anti-Semitism problems, like in France or in the US, then the numbers are going up. But the last few years, the numbers are the same, 30,000 a year. 2 years ago from France, there were 15,000, but now the number went down. Depends on the situation, security.
그럼 앞으로 점점 더 늘어날 것 같아요?
We don't know. Depends on God. When there are countries that there are problems, like Muslim countries, that I cannot say the name of them, there is a very heavy, very strong, very powerful operation done by the Jewish agency to bring those Jews from the Muslim countries to Israel. This is happening now. Those countries that are hate Jews and killing them and all that. So we hope more Jews will come, but we don't know. At least we'll bring now those Jews from the Muslim countries. And this, if some people can help us, this will be great. To bring those Jews from Muslim countries. Also, there is many Jews who are coming from Venezuela since the ruler changed there. And he's a communist one now.
그러면 전 세계에 있는 유대인들이 이제 이스라엘로 계속 돌아오고 있는데 돌아오는 건 좋지만 그 돌아온 유대인들이 이스라엘에서 잘 적응하고 또 돈도 벌어야 되고 가정을 꾸리고 잘 살 수 있도록 하려면은 이스라엘 정부 입장에서도 많은 돈이 들고 좀 부담이 커질 것 같아요.
It's very difficult. To bring one Jew, it costs $3,000, and then educate him for 1 year. This is what we are doing, teaching Hebrew, teaching profession, giving him the place to live. So it's around 3,000. Then it can be 5,000, it can be 10,000. So it needs a lot of sources from everywhere and from the government. So government gives them free education, free health insurance, free housing for 1 year, and it's very difficult. Till now, the Jewish people from all over were sending a lot of money to help this mission. But now we see many Christian churches that see what's written in the Bible, that God said that non-Jews will also help to bring the Jews. So we see many Christians that also are ready to help us to bring the Jews back home. And many of them are from Korea. And this is the reason I'm visiting here so many times, to tell the churches, thank you. There are churches who are helping every month to bring 2, 3, 4 Jewish people back to the land. And this is great.
뭐 이제 이왕 말 나온 김에 한번 우리 크리스천들에 대해서 한번 좀 질문해 보겠는데, 그 이스라엘의 유대인들이 돌아오는 거에 대해서 우리 한국에 있는 크리스천들이 어떻게 관심을 갖는 게 좋습니까?
Mainly it's finance. It's first is prayer, second is friendship, visiting like you are doing in Bread TV, you bring the groups. So they see first of all the truth, because what is in the media, it's not the truth. And thank you for doing what you're doing with your TV. But mainly we need finance to bring the Jews back home and help us to settle them down. And it's not easy for a small country like Israel to absorb so many millions of Jews in short time. And we have a lot of expenses. We have defense and we have education. We have enemies around us. We have Syria and Jordan and Egypt. They all want to throw us to the sea. So most of our budget goes to defense and education and building the country. So to bring the Jews back home, we need help.
이미 한국을 여러 번 오셨다고 이제 제가 들었는데 한국에 오셔서 교회 방문해서 주이시 에이전시의 어떤 하고 있는 일들 또 알리아를 위해서 이 한국 교회에 도움이 좀 필요합니다. 이렇게 이야기할 때 어떻습니까? 한국 교회 크리스천들의 반응이?
They are very warm. They are very nice. They are sending their donation. Every time I come, there is a lot of donation given by Christian. And the only thing I can say is thank you, or 감사합니다 in Korean, to those Christians who help us so much.
그럼 저희 브래드 TV는 주이시 에이전시가 하는 일에 도움이 될 수 있다면 어떤 쪽으로 도움이 될 수 있을까요?
So first, before I ask, I want to thank you for what you're doing. We know in the Jewish Agency that Bread TV for 4 years is promoting Aliyah and helping in Aliyah. So first of all, I want to say thank you. And this is an official certificate from the Jewish Agency. Thank you for what you're doing. So first,
아이고, thank you so much. 여러분, 제가 오늘 이 주이시 에이전시로부터 난생처음 이런 걸 받아봤습니다.
what I want to add is that you telling the real story about Aliyah help us to go to churches and say to the churches, help Aliyah. So when you tell the story and they see it on television and they know that there is many, many Jews coming and we need their help, they will come and help. And this is what you can do. This is your biggest help. Tell the real story of Aliyah.
왜 전 세계에 있는 유대인들이 이스라엘로 돌아와야 하는 거죠?
God says in so many places in the Bible that the Jewish people will come back and has to come back to the Holy Land, to Israel. If you can be so nice and at least read Zechariah. Can you read it in Korean? Yeah.
스가랴서 8장 4절에서 8절 말씀. Read now?
Yes, read it.
만군의 여호와가 말하노라. 예루살렘 길거리에 늙은 지아비와 늙은 지오미가 다시 앉을 것이라. 다 나이 많음으로 각기 손에 지팡이를 잡을 것이요. 그 성읍 거리에 동남과 동녀가 가득하여 거기서 장난하리라. 만군의 여호와가 말하노라. 이 일이 그날에 남은 백성의 눈에는 기이하려니와 내 눈에 어찌 기이하겠느냐. 만군의 여호와의 말이니라. 만군의 여호와가 말하노라. 내가 내 백성을 동방에서부터 서방에서부터 구원하여 내고 인도하여다가 예루살렘 가운데 거하게 하리니 그들은 내 백성이 되고 나는 성실과 정의로 그들의 하나님이 되리라. 이 말씀.
Amen.
아멘.
There is God promise and God order and God will on one hand. On the other hand, the situation for the Jews all over the world is very bad. Nobody likes Jewish people. And they are people hit them in New York and hit them in France and they don't feel home, many of them. So Jewish people wants to go and have their own home and be secure. And Israel is the home of the Jewish people. That's it.
자, 그럼 오늘 브래드 TV를 통해서 드보라 여사님의 이야기를 듣고 나도 이스라엘의 주이시 에이전시가 하는 일에 좀 뭔가 좀 보탬이 좀 되고 싶다, 동참하고 싶다, 조인하고 싶다 이런 분들이 있다면 구체적으로 어떤 방법이 있을까요?
First, of course, all the information is on the website of Bread TV and of the Jewish Agency. You can find all the information. Then if you want to do a donation, there are many ways. One way is to give it to Bread TV, and I hope they will send it, I'm sure they will send it to Israel, to Aliyah, or you give it to a local Korean church that we know and we trust. You can give it to them, and they are coming to Israel 5 or 10 times a year, and they will bring your donation. Your donation goes 100% to bring the Jews back home. It's a government organization. Nobody takes any salary, any percentage. So all your donation will go directly to bring the Jews back home. And thank you for that.
오늘 드보라 여사께서 저에게 읽어보라고 하셨던 그 스가랴 말씀처럼 전 세계에 있는 유대인들이 다 그들의 고향인 이스라엘로 알려야 하는 그 일들을 GC 에이전시가 앞장서서 이렇게 해나가고 또 한국의 크리스천들에게 함께 기도하고 관심을 갖고 동참해달라고 또 찾아와 주신 우리 드보라 여사의 일들에 대해서 잘 진행될 수 있도록 우리 한국의 크리스천도 또 브래드 TV도 관심을 갖고 계속 기도하고 또 동참할 수 있도록 그렇게 하겠습니다. 오늘 이렇게 먼 곳까지 와주시고 또 알리아에 관한 귀한 얘기해 주셔서 너무 고맙습니다. Thank you so much, Joanne.
감사합니다.
감사합니다.
Thank you.
Today we finally acknowledge the obvious, that Jerusalem is Israel's capital. This is nothing more or less than a recognition of reality.
데이비드 프리드만 주 이스라엘 미국 대사가 예루살렘에서 대사관 개관을 선언하자 박수가 쏟아집니다. 예루살렘을 이스라엘 수도로 인정하자 팔레스타인은 거세게 반발하고 있습니다.
미국이 이스라엘과 팔레스타인 간 평화협정 체결을 위한 중재 작업을 재개했습니다.